how do you do that, the whole write up. So you're all good. You just get to use their
Good evening,
willpower.
good afternoon, wherever you find yourself in this weird, wild, wacky world of ours, and welcome to the exciting installment of Darkness in Dublin. Everyone take 20 ag. This evening. No, this evening is a beautiful, sunny, beautiful, sunny, yet cold day in December. The sun shines down, but there's very little warmth in its rays, as Dublin City is illuminated beneath the velveteen cloak of its ominous light. It's about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and there is a large crowd that gathers around this particular water feature that is found on St. Colum's Street, just outside of the main catchment shopping area of Dublin city centre. A large crowd of people circling around. At the centre of them, you individuals will gather, and you will see an individual, this individual to be exact, who was weaving a hypnotic dance using the fire poise sticks that are in her hands to illuminate those around her. Your sharpened senses can almost see the fiery faces of dragons leering from the flames itself, casting menacing glances or inviting glares to those around them. The people seem to stand transfixed, unable to move, unable to speak, as it is they watch this display of pyretics that unfolds before them. The woman herself is stunning, her body a seeming temple to her own manual dexterity. The tattoos on her skin seem to glint and glisten, almost radiant once again in the fire's eerie glow. Her hair in the dreadlocks spills freely over both sides of her face. She appears to be rather hypnotic. One might almost say snake-like, as she proceeds to do her dance. A seductive, sultry affair now, slower, more sanguine, like the dripping of blood. When it is she finishes, she bows to the audience, who proceed to throw money into a coat that has been left propped to the side, where donations welcome has been written on a small sign. Before it is, she takes a seat on the fountain and lights a cigarette. On a side note for Duncan, because this is going to be funny, her appearance is 5. Her appearance spec is alluring. Because this is going to get funny.
All right.
Oh God.
She's just sitting there. She takes a small thermos from out of her coat. For the record, people are being very generous when it comes to the amount of tips that are being left for her.
Is it cool if I Daniela kind of is wandering around looking at this display, and she finds this kind of odd and interesting. Mm-hmm. She wants to. She's gonna meditate for a moment and do some simple circular hand gestures and try to activate Prime 1 to see magical effects.
Okay.
Right. So Darkness in Dublin rolls. So I'll do for meditation. So I want to use meditation as an ability to reduce the diff. Perception meditation.
Wits meditation.
Wits meditation.
Because you're trying to center yourself on the fly.
Okay. Well, that's not as high of a dice. So. Guess what I got, Evan?
On the bright side, you didn't botch.
I didn't botch. All right.
Guys, I gotta bow out. Family thing. Sorry.
All right, man. That's cool.
No worries, dude. You do.
Well, we'll try the regular Arete roll. At least I didn't fail. And no luck.
Okay. She removes a small thermos and pours a dark liquid into it that she lifts to her. That she sits very small. She makes herself rather small, so she kind of sits on the edge of the fountain on the lip, with her legs crossed, and she's leant over the contents of her little metal cup that she appears to be sniffing before she takes a sip.
Well,
You can always try and cast again if you'd like. There's nothing to stop you.
Is that enough to stop me? All right, I'll try that. I'll try it again. That would be a plus, but that would be a +1, right?
No, because you're not continuing the cast. You're starting again.
Starting again. Okay, cool. At least get 1 success this time.
Okay. Your prime sight flashes on for a brief moment because you have nothing to put into duration. All of her tattoos glow brightly with prime energy.
All right.
Though interestingly enough, you don't see anything from her personally.
I don't see anything towards the people.
Beg your pardon?
I don't see any effects on the people themselves or any residents on them.
Not currently, no. If you assume that if there was something, it probably stopped when she stopped dancing.
Probably. So, how do I want to approach this? Do I see anyone else? Do I see anyone else around with strange quintessential objects?
You see him. Hang on. Hey, Marcus. How's it going? You doing good? How's it going?
Fine.
Good. This woman, very calmly, she's sitting there. You see her dance. She's an excellent dancer. She's also pretty.
Oh shit. Duncan stares like a fool, and he reaches into his pocket, and all the money he has, he puts in the thing.
Thank you. That's mighty good of you. I didn't deserve such generosity.
Words.
Danielle will walk up to her. Not a bad performance there. Oh, hey.
Thanks. I do my best.
How long have you been dancing for?
As long as there's been music, I suppose.
Long time.
Not quite as long as all that, but it's nice to meet you. She'll extend her hand.
How much taller is her than is she taller than Daniela?
How tall is Daniela?
5'8".
She's slightly shorter, actually. She's only about 5'7".
Okay, interesting.
My name's Abigail.
My name's Daniela. She'll kind of put a hand out to shake.
Pleasure to meet you, Daniela.
So you dance here often?
No, I've only just arrived.
Where are you from?
It's a beautiful city, though. Oh, I'm from Inverness.
Oh, interesting. Well, glad you're liking Dublin so far.
Which point Duncan raises his eyebrow.
Are you all right, sir?
Yeah. What? She'll look over to the individual.
That depends completely on you. And yes, words.
What does that mean, sir? If you don't mind me asking.
Can I make a perception empathy roll on Duncan?
Yeah, you can.
What's the dice pool? 6, 10, 8, 7, and 1.
It'll. Do you have any merits that make you harder to read? Because I know the last one did.
Yeah, that guy did. Nope, this guy's an open book.
So that's difficulty 6. So do you wish to choose to roll to oppose?
No.
Okay. What's Duncan feeling?
Confusion, fear, lust, anger.
By the way, Marcus, question: did you watch the video I sent you earlier?
I did.
Is there something wrong, friend?
I'll just ask.
Seems like he's a big fan.
Oh, she's from Inverness, right?
I'm from Inverness, yeah.
From the Isle of Skye myself.
It's lovely there, I'm led to understand. I've never been, but people say good things.
Out of character, does she have any, like, all her tattoos or tattoos? Does she have any clan tattoos? Anything to denote any, a tartan maybe, like, decorated, anything on there?
Nope. You could ask her her name if you'd like.
What are you called then?
Abigail. Abigail McDonald.
Oh, really?
On that note, I'm going to have to go get my food. I'll be back in a few minutes. I will let Marcus explain.
You see, my character's a Campbell.
The Campbell? What do you mean?
He's a Campbell. That's
What's
McDonald.
a Campbell?
It's a Scottish surname and clan.
Ah.
They are not fans of McDonald's.
Uh-oh. But there's a but there. More
Oh,
ways than one.
Oh, there's no but. there's nothing.
Uh-huh. Sure.
Much blood has been spilled.
More ways than one, buddy. Neil's here just... Pretty girl doing pretty things.
And who might you be then? If you want a visual, he looks like James McAvoy from Split.
Okay. James McAvoy from Split.
They got a picture. I just never...
Oh. Interesting. Okay.
That, if you click in the side chat, that
Yeah.
take you directly to the picture that he is currently dressed as. And
I gotcha. So is she asking who Daniela is?
yes. And who might you be then, ma'am?
Name's Daniela. Just fellow wanderer, I suppose. How about yourself?
Remember when you asked earlier, was there like crime stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy has got something very large attached to it. Something has been done to his pattern. It has been altered.
Sheesh.
So much so that he has about 5 points of paradox stuck to him.
Ugh. Yikes. So, she'll look and say, yep. She just seems to notice something. Tries to kind of lost her trail of thought. And, she'll say, so, what's been going on in town on your end?
I just got out of hospital.
Yeah, I can tell. You alright?
I was.
She just kind of nods at that. What kind of injury? What happened?
And I'm back.
The two have been talking a little bit back and forth.
I was attacked.
Yikes.
It's okay. I survived. So you're a McDonald then?
I am.
Eland's McDonald or Island McDonald?
Mainland McDonald. From the lowlands, but my family moved north to Inverness when I was younger. Why do you ask?
Oh, no reason. No reason at all.
I understand. And what's your name?
Duncan Campbell. Clan Campbell.
Her face, which was smiling, immediately drops.
Danielle almost kind of like eyes are peeled, like, what's going on here?
Would you be any relation to Martin Campbell?
Out of character, am I?
If you want to be.
I, me uncle.
Aye. He killed my Uncle Hamish.
Well, Hamish probably had it coming.
Oh, did he know? She says she stands up.
Oh, don't get your back up now.
At least I've got it back, unlike you, you spineless Campbell.
Spineless Campbell! Spineless Campbell! Is it? Was, you know what? We should play. Let's play a game then.
Is it called Find the Pocket that you probably picked this morning to buy your breakfast?
I don't know. It could be. No, let's play hide behind the mountains and make the Campbells come kill us. You know, one at a time. Let's do that.
Well, we said that we thought we'd be somewhat thinking of your condition. After all, I've never met a Campbell who can count past one.
Ooh. Never knew a McDonald that could fight by herself.
This episode of Family Feud. That
tears it. Tread the cobbles then.
What was that, sorry, Marcus?
He says, that tears it. Tread the cobbles.
It's either that or I'd splatter you all over the cobbles, but that's up to you.
Oh, we both know who's going to win this fight. It's not going to be some, I'm going to hide behind the mountain, not really be. Anyways.
I do apologize, Miss Daniela, but I have to go and deal with a lummox.
You guys need a ref?
Well, that depends. If she's going to give me some of her terrible Scotch whiskey.
The Con Campbell recipe's been the Con Campbell recipe, yeah. I mean, I'd like to understand that you lot urinate in it before you do, but then again, it's better that than the sheep piss that you'd normally drink.
Never seen a McDonald's.
What was that, sir?
That's now just kind of made a gesture like, oh shit.
Oh, I see you. No wonder the McDonald's are always losing. It was all the women that did all the fighting, was it?
Well, I'd rather have a uterus and be able to put you in the dirt where you belong than have a dick and be put in the dirt, naughty butt.
Oh, we both know who. Let's just right here, right now.
She cracks her knuckles and she says, "No tricks."
Shite. Well, you've won this round. Next time we use tricks then.
Aye, that's the only way a Campbell could ever do either get a fight, win a fight or get a woman was tricks.
Okay, tricks or not. You speak that way about McClan again, we're gonna spill blood. I swear.
I've already offered you the chance to spill blood, my Campbell friend. However, you have to rely on your petty little magic tricks.
Rely. Have to rely. You're inked up yourself.
But I was willing not to use them.
Well, some of us have decided that we'd like to be prepared. You know, a McDonald's might show up. And we both know how fans you are of ambushing, don't we?
That's a scandalous rumor.
It's a scandalous rumor. Scandalous rumor.
Always helps to be prepared.
I'll send you back via Glasgow in a fucking body box.
Look, you Lowland Hooer. We both know you'll lose this fight for real.
And Danielle's gonna let them simmer and do their thing. She'll just kind of be off to the side, making sure that they don't cause too much of a ruckus.
I'm a Campbell and an operative of Iteration X. I'll put you in the fucking ground, boy.
Oh.
Oh, you think so?
I fucking know so.
Well. Well. He does not look happy. He thinks about it.
What, are you waiting for your other testicle to drop?
Oh, no. I'm deciding how many pieces I want to tear your half metallic arse into.
Oh boy, trust me, you wouldn't know what to do with my arse if you tried.
You Gran right now. What would Gran? she's right here. She's right here, and she's a McDonald. She's right here, and she's a McDonald.
Yes, and she offered to fight you man on woman, and you said no. I'm not best pleased with you.
She said no tricks then.
Aye, then you fight her with no tricks.
I can't after what you've done to me. Okay then.
As Daniela gets steadily more and more confused.
Yeah, she's ready and waiting for like something bad to go down. Let's see here.
Well, I guess we'll have to revisit Bloody Bay then, won't we?
Oh, what? That time that you all ran away back into the water like scared little seal pups.
Seal pups isn't. Seal pups isn't.
Aye, seal pups.
I guess I'll have to kick you back to the Hebrides, won't I?
Well, that's good. That's good. At least we finally know that Clan Campbellmen can at least raise their legs.
Oh. We're going to roll initiative now, Evan.
Okay.
There's going to be a bloody fight in the street, and I may die again.
As long as you're happy.
Okay.
On a side note, Evan found out about this really old clan feud today and sent a link to a video to Marcus. I'm just like, yes.
Did I hear that the girl said she was Generation X? I heard
She's
that correctly.
X.
She said X. Oh shit.
She's going on a 14, Marcus.
I am going to take 3 actions.
Oh, you're going to cheat.
I'm going to split my dice pool, sir.
Okay.
That's not cheating.
Yeah, but you have to win the initiative first, dear.
Let me finish. Split my dice pool 3 times. Let me roll initiative. This chick's gonna beat my ass. Why'd you do this, Evan?
Because you love it. Deny it if you deny it if you'd like, but you think it's fucking awesome.
I do.
Might as well put myself in the initiative just to.
Shite. Going 7.
Wow, that was literally the universe shitting on you, Marcus.
Damn.
That's fine. It's fine. Fine.
So as she sees you about ready to do a thing, she smiles before she uppercuts you, Marcus, like right under the chin, uppercut.
Oof.
Oh, she's after me arse. She's after me arse.
Okay, so let's see how this goes. She is not, however, going to cheat.
I'm not
Unless
cheating.
Unless you cheat.
Dodging is not cheating.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 successes to hit you.
Let's see. Devs playing 3 times. Dexterous martial arts is the 1 pool. Have it at 10. So 3 actions. So 4. So 7 dice. At difficulty 4.
Well, you have to increase the diff for splitting the action, don't you?
No.
Okay, then split away.
By the way, my EXP spending was approved, Evan?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool.
Wow, okay, yeah. You managed to sway backwards and completely, her hand completely misses you.
That's 4. So I'll get 4 more punch in the face. Is that all you have? Let me show you a game they play in Aaron. It's just a stiff straight punch to the face. Just wham!
Are you death striking her?
No. This is all bashing damage. Death striking is just mean. Or so 5, 4. But this is only at diff 3. Yay.
Are you actively using a magical effect to lower your difficulty?
It's always on.
Okay, I just had to clarify that.
Can I enlist it? Can I turn it off?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, cool.
Do you turn it off?
Yeah, I'll turn it off.
Okay, cool. You still always have the permanent paradox, but you don't have to use the effect.
All right, I will opt to not use the effect then.
Okay.
4. So I got 1 more there. 3.
Contacts do I have?
Punch her in the face.
I do, and I got 3 successes because I got a 10. Because this is boxing.
Roll me that sweet, sweet damage.
So 1 carryover, so 2 carryover. So strength is 2, 2 is 4, 5. I got 1 whole success.
Okay, I'll roll your stamina. Ones do not. Oh, that is way too much stamina. Sorry, I will reroll that. Ones do not deduct from success. So her head snaps back, and she looks at you and she says, "I'd say you hit like a woman, but that would be an insult to my gender."
I'd say you fought like a man, but it'd be an insult to mine.
She brings her whole body weight around in a kick as she attempts to smash you right in the solar plexus. 1, 2, 3. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 successes to boot you.
Okay. I have 1 more action.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, by all means, feel free to do that. That roll will just stand on her next initiative step. My apologies.
It's all cool. I'll just transfer this dodge to the next one. We'll just move over. It's all good. Yeah, I got 3. So I will roll my attack.
Yeah.
Ooh.
She doesn't even dodge, and your punch goes wide. You hear a disapproving tutting noise in the back of your head.
She's distracting me with Wild's grunt.
With Wilds, you say?
And he's
All
got
right.
like he's got like his fists up in like the really old school guard, like for real. Like
All right, in that case, a smashing kick into your solar plexus comes next.
okay. In that case, will definitely have to dodge that. Again, splitting my dice pool 3 times.
Okay.
Because it's all the same pool. Yay, cheesy martial arts. Four plus 3 is 7. Six. Oh no.
Oh no! Oh, this is going to be made of pain. That was just a very unlucky dice roll, Obi. So it's you dodge 1, so that brings it down from 7 to 6. So 5 carry over. Her strength is
Dumb.
not done. Her strength is 4. 7, 9, 10, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 bashing.
Okay, I'm gonna roll my 4 soak. I guess I could just dodge again. I got 3 actions. Mm-hmm.
You already attempted to dodge, and it didn't
That's
go
right.
well for you.
I remember now. Artie, R.
Yep.
R 40, 10. Equal to 6. Can you spend a willpower on soak?
No, you can't, unfortunately.
Ooh.
You took 2. You take you took 2. You take 3. 3 bashing to the chest. Life currently hurts.
Ooh.
Congratulations, Campbell boy. What can I say? You're actually still standing after a decent, solid hit. I'm impressed.
Well, I just got kicked by a woman or a mule. One of the two. Can't tell the difference.
Well, with the stock of your women folk, I wouldn't exactly be blaming you.
It's not as if you're a catch for your own self, lady.
She looks at you and winks. Appearance 5, winking at you.
I lose my next action.
I'm gonna Marcus take an extra XP because that is just so characterful. I love it.
Yeah. He just stands there dumbstruck, like, oh my lord. I'm in love. He's in love now.
So, are we going to keep fighting, or would you like me to just, rip my clothes off and take me here in public, Campbell boy?
Well, we have to talk to your priest and your ma and everyone else before we get married.
Miss, I don't think you understand the concept of rutting, but whatever's up with you.
I mean, you kick like a warrior, even though you're a McDonald, which I can forgive for good combat skills.
So, are we still fighting, or are we done?
We're done.
I mean, it's not exactly like you Campbell men are known for your stamina.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sure it means something other than what you said.
She smiles, and you can see she kind of chuckles before she turns around and just kind of sits back down next to the fountain. She will then thrust a kind of a thermos towards you, like,
Whiskey.
aye. Straight from Loch Lomond.
You takes a snort.
You
Roll my
As
stomach.
angry as it makes you, it kind of offends your Campbell soul. It's not bad.
Possible. For,
Possible. Oh, I see. Possible, right? That's going to be today, is it? Okay. I'm really sorry about that, Miss Daniela. Let's just say that both of our families were never really fond of one another.
She kind of
It's
hops down and says,
It's not
"Well,
our
seems like
fault.
there's
They're
more to
Vikings.
the." Hmm?
Not my. They're fucking Vikings. They're not even real Scotsmen.
Oh, aye. And the Campbells are. Interesting.
So, seems like there's also more to the families.
Well, you see, it all started with a cow.
Doesn't
You
it
know.
always?
Nah. Starts with them thinking that they ruled the fucking island.
On a side note, hang on, because that was really, really thing. Nathan, say something.
Hello?
Okay, I thought that you were just speaking and static was coming out. My apologies. Continue. Is Rupert joining us?
Where are we?
We're just at a random fountain in Dublin city centre. It is conceivable anyone can walk by if they do anything in the city centre during the day.
Sure, okay.
Because it's about 12. No, the scene starts at about 1 o'clock, so it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon now.
Okay, well, let's say he's finished the morning case and is on his way to somewhere to have lunch.
All right.
And is walking past.
There was also the major philosophical and ethical dispute when it is my family decided to go one way and the Campbells very much decided to go the other way, shall we say, when it came to our practices.
That's so.
Oh yeah, because I'm going to sit there and pray to extra-dimensional entities and say, oh, please, great googly moogly in the sky, give me exactly what it is I want because I've been a very good girl this time of year.
Anytime you want to stop, we're getting along famously.
Mm.
Or the name. I'm guessing that is. Well, that's what I heard the name. She doesn't say very loud. I heard the name IDX in there.
Yeah, I'm a member of Iteration X and a member of the Technocratic Union.
Oh, just so you know, Evan, Duncan does not wear traditional Campbell colors. He wears the colors of the Black Watch.
That's fine. But considering, Miss Daniela, I can only assume that you're one of the feckless reality deviants, like our dear Mr. Campbell here. We're at peace with one another, so don't worry about it.
If only you were at peace with each other.
Oh, aye, this is coming from you lot who decide to kill each other every 20 years or so and then see who's the king of the mountain of the corpses.
No, I'm talking about actual real things at the Cryptochronomicon thing.
The Necronomicon?
What the
No.
fuck are you talking about?
It's a perfect watch that keeps perfect time or whatever.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
On a side note, she kind of looks up at Rupert and she cocks her head to the side and says, hello.
Nods a reply. What does she look? Oh, like someone as per the photo.
As per the photo, she's got appearance 5 with a specialty in the appearance of alluring.
Okay.
If any of you have, do any of you have matter sight up? Interesting question.
I don't have that up right now.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
I have all the site up. What's it all look like?
Amused currently. She's also definitely. Oh, she's also very definitely a mage.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and she'll look to Rupert and say, she'll just nod and say, "What's up?"
Oh, hello again.
So you guys are gonna. She'll just kind of look over. So you two are good. No.
I'm sorry.
no
By the way, what you were gobbling on about a moment ago? Did you mean the Chronoptic Chronomicon?
Oh, aye, that thing.
What about it?
There's a fellow what don't agree with your folk that's after it.
Blink, 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 blink. I'm sorry. Apparently, the Campbells have been smoking shrooms again. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
It's a real thing. I've been looking for someone that what had pulled with you lot to get you warning in your general direction. Then
What is it?
apparently, not everyone was happy with the whole. We don't want to kill us on sight. Okay, so there's another fella. There's two fellas. One of the fellas is a guy who made another fella, and the fella he made doesn't like any of us and would like this clock thing, what tells perfect time.
Okay, I'm gonna have to paraphrase Moron for a second here. My apologies. I believe he's talking about Aurelius Drake.
That one.
Yeah, Overseer Drake was part of the Cipher project, wherein they created the 12 ciphers, but only 2 of them survived the process. Those were Cipher 5 and Cipher 9.
I met that one. He's an arse.
Wait, you met Cipher 9?
Oh, aye.
Yeah. I've
He's-
had run-ins with him.
He's also gone rogue and brought a large amount of technocratic hardware and personnel with him into what they're calling the True Way.
Aye, it's what put me in hospital. One of his operatives it was.
He's still around?
Oh, aye.
Yeah, he stole. Okay, I'm led to understand that during the war, you lot stole a ship from us called Leviathan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he stole the sister ship called the Behemoth, and he
Yeah.
disappeared. He disappeared into Umbral space.
That's not
Uh,
good.
And to answer, what the fuck has this got to do with the Chronoptic Chronomicon?
This thing, if they can get a hold of it, they can do some kind of something with it, what will end everything.
Okay, so I'm going to give you kids a brief lesson in science. The Chronoptic Chronomicon was a perfect timekeeping device, and when I say perfect, I mean temporal spatial anomalies were used in order to transport the anchor or the measurement device of the Chronomicon to the moment of the universe's creation. So it literally has measured time since time began.
Jeez.
It
So that's
hasn't.
what keeps-
It hasn't. The monitoring device has, but more so, the Chronomicon keeps track and tally of all of that time. So it's perfectly right, if that makes sense. But what on earth has this got to do with anything? Aurelius Drake, well, Dr. Drake keeps the Chronopticon. It's one of his pet projects.
Oh, he lost it.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What do you mean? You mean he lost the anchor of that keeps measure of time?
Yeah, that was the thing. Yeah. I got my chest near blown out trying to hold on to it. I did.
Kind of. I'm not, Marcus, are you intentionally lying to them or not?
Okay, I don't have it. I lost it.
No, you don't. But you also know that he did. Basically, he took it and he hid it in order for somebody else not to find it.
Well, yeah, but Cypher 9 took it.
Yes, he did.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He lost
Okay.
it. Cypher 9's got it.
Okay, continue.
So Cypher 9 has hold of this thing. And it's going to kill my family for telling everyone. Yada, yada, yada.
Well, I mean, it's only killing Campbells.
Really? We're moving past that with the world ending.
So based off of Cypher 9's MO, and what you guys know of him, what do you think he'd do with an object like that? Based off of the True Way.
The thing is that it's not, ever since the cancelling of Project Morpheus, it's not, it's funny, like the Chronomicon's a kind of an oddity, but it doesn't really do anything. It tells perfect time.
Yeah, but it. Okay, what did Drake tell me? Drake told Duncan, he said, okay, but you'd know the perfect time to do certain things too.
That's true. You'd have perfect timing.
like as the universe expanded, like knowing that's kind of important.
That if you want a highly regimented group that's based off of schedules and times, being able to time exactly when you want to interrupt it, damage it.
It's more like knowing the exact rate the universe is moving that's kind of the big thing.
And if you were to, and what are you saying? What would happen if we were to lose that?
I don't know. I don't know nothing about this sort of mathematics. I'm just here to deliver the message to the people that do know these things about this sort of mathematics.
So wait, you said somebody tried to kill you.
Yeah,
How'd that go?
I'm a lot tougher than I look.
Can you describe him?
Oh, sure. I described the Sam Fisher cyborg man that shot me in the face.
Wait, you mean to tell me that you've met Null?
No.
No.
Apparently I don't know what he is, but he's got a really powerful cannon.
In a manner of speaking, so you know how I said that I'm an operative, and I am? Well, Null is as well, but he specializes in the destruction of priority targets for the Technocratic Union. Essentially, think of him like an assassin for hire, and you're not far wrong. So, the fact you survived, kudos. I'm impressed.
I don't recall ever a Technocratic Union agent being so talkative with another reality deviant.
She shrugs. Peace. I actually happen to believe in the peace.
Wait, peace since when?
The Treaty of Seattle.
I heard. No one told me about that.
Oh yeah, we're all fast friends except for the ones that aren't.
Well, no. Basically, your side and our side signed a non-aggression, or signed a peace, well, not a peace treaty, a temporary cessation of hostilities at the Treaty of Seattle. And so we haven't been actively pursuing an agenda of mutual destruction. And I happen to be one of the individuals who believes in said concept.
So then why is Null still going after traditionalists?
But he don't believe in the whole thing.
Because Cypher 9 formed a splinter group called the True Way and took a large amount of technocratic equipment and material with him, including entities like Null.
So that makes sense. Thought for a second that you knew him. But that makes more sense.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. So yeah, I got to make sure that folks learn about this so that we can do something, because we got to get it back or fight against it or something. Because while the one thing's happening, which is the one thing, which is probably not a big deal because the folks were there with me saw it, because it's just one of the kindly ones acting out some sort of fantasy. This is the other thing that's going on. Yeah.
I could talk to entities and see what they might know about the importance of time and what might happen.
Oh.
She shrugs.
So basically, the Cypher 9's group, the True Way, is they're MIA for all intents and purposes.
Well, like I mentioned, he stole the sister ship of the Leviathan, the Behemoth, and made off with that and a number of other of our resources into null or into deep void space.
What's out there?
What do you mean?
Deep space. What's out there?
The planets?
Well, I mean, what else besides the planets?
Okay, what we call deep space, I'm led to understand you have another term for.
I may not have learned it.
What is it that your family fucks around with, Campbell?
They're dead.
Yeah, but where is it they fucking live?
What you mean? Isla Sky, of course.
Boy, it's like talking to a fucking child. That place where extra-dimensional beings live, like the thing that's currently latched onto him for sweet life.
Oh, you mean the Umbra?
Yeah, that.
Right, the Umbra.
Yeah,
That's what we call deep space or umbral space.
I don't have any trust
Gotcha.
with the Umbra, just the Shadowlands. Sorry.
I thought it sounded like a specific place, but I guess technically
There are different realms they're in, like the different realms for each one of the planets, etc.
Yeah, but I can't see none of them.
You're just bad at this, aren't you?
Stifle it, Donald.
So, what can we do about it? Tell more people?
Well, thing is, I'm only one person, and I only know the people that I know. You should tell the people that you know, that the more people know. Now, that being said, Cypher 9 may show up and kill you, because he does that sort of thing.
Oh, great. How did they...
Can I be of
Oh.
assistance, Daniela?
Well, it
Like,
seems...
It's the middle of something.
Well, we seem to be... Well, I know that his name's Campbell and her name's McDonald, or at least Abigail. Apparently,
Abigail
there's some...
Abigail is fine.
Abigail. Seems like Cypher 9 has an important device that can track time. We may give him a one-up on some things. Trying to figure out what we can do to make sure this peace lasts, which is news to me.
Mm.
You know about it, Rupert?
I know about Cypher 9 a little. I was wondering if he's still trying to complete the Morpheus project.
He can't. Not anymore. The allotted time passed for the Morpheus project over 2 years ago. It won't be until the year 2236, I believe, that there will be the correct convergence again.
What if that wasn't true then?
Eh?
Well, what if it wasn't?
You mean, what if the convergence is actually some other date that's far sooner?
Look, all I know about time is timing and fighting. Understand how someone fights, understand how they move, that's timing. That's the only timing I know about. But I figure if this fella who plans everything 7 steps ahead of everybody else wants some sort of wants to do a thing, and he has a thing that tracks time, and time is his issue. But I figure them two things going together, I don't think time's going to be an issue anymore.
As I said, this is way out of my wheelhouse. I'm just an operative. If you want that, you should really talk to somebody who understands the kind of temporal space more, I should think.
You could talk to Siren. Well, you can report it to your people, and we can report it to our people.
This is the first I've heard of this chronological device.
The Chronoptic Chronomicon.
The Chronomicon.
I found it outside a pawn shop, I did.
You found the Chronoptic Chronomicon in a pawn shop.
Aye.
Jesus, when the gods created the Campbells, they blessed them once with terrible looks and twice with luck.
Mm.
Did you lose your longship over there in the water there? Did you lose it?
Well, at least I've got a long ship, unlike whatever you've got hanging between your legs.
We'll not talk about my Twig and Barracks mixed company. No, we won't.
Nonsense. Something's already withered on the vine, it seems.
Does your ma know you talk like that? Forward, woman! Forward, woman! Oh, I forward, woman. And she's probably Catholic.
Nice meeting you,
I don't
Abigail.
I don't believe in God, but thanks for that.
Duncan, do you know Siren?
Who?
Siren.
No. I've never met the lad. Is he a nice lad? Does he have beer?
He's a nice lad. I think he has beer, but he seems to be one who would know about this time stuff. How this could affect Cypher 9. I can take you to him.
I've had what Cypher is explained to me once. I understand he's able to predict based on probabilities and strategize. Is it possible he wants this device because he's unable to strategize around people manipulating time?
Well, that's just it. If he's got something that tracks perfect time and people are manipulating time, wouldn't he be able to see when they're manipulating time?
It would
Also, what if there was extra time?
So if someone made extra time, he'd know how that would affect time, so he can still track it precisely.
I mean,
Cypher 9 doesn't exactly. All right. From what I'm led to understand, it's a mixture between temporal causality, entropic, or what you would call entropic effects, what we would call extra-dimensional calculus, and human profiling that Cypher 9 does. He doesn't exactly know what you'll do precisely, but he will base an analysis on you in order to ascertain the most likely course of action that you will take.
He seems to count probabilities and base his actions based on that.
Mm-hmm. That's why occasionally people like the reality deviants who do things sideways can not necessarily scupper him, but can make it so he has to change his planning on the fly.
Aye, that's why the other lad picked me, because I'm crazy.
That sounds about right.
So,
So here's what I think. So he's normally going to go about plan. All you lot normally don't tell each other nothing. What if we tell everybody something?
I mean, it doesn't sound like the worst idea.
Well, it's a terrible idea because people we don't want to know things will know things. But so,
perhaps you could walk me through this device. So you found it outside a pawn shop.
aye.
And what
You found it in a pawn shop, technically.
So you
Okay.
Well, the pawnbroker found it outside the pawn shop. I found it inside the pawn shop.
Okay.
and then was that when Null attacked you when you had it and were walking with it?
Well, no. After I saw the other fellow that's like her stole it, and I followed him, and then.
And how long ago was this?
About a week.
Right. Okay. So it came into your possession a week ago, and you said you were then attacked
Mm-hmm.
by.
Well, first we were having a lovely conversation. Then I was attacked by Null, who blew the other fellow to smithereens.
Yikes. And then he attacked you.
Yes, and as I was recovering, Cypher 9 showed up, told him how he'd kill my entire family if I told anybody anything. And the other fellow showed up and said, "You need to tell everybody everything. Don't worry about it. I've got you." But he could be lying, but everyone needs to know anyway. So who knows what's going to happen? I mean, I don't.
Okay. So Cypher 9 turned up in person.
I don't. I can't tell for sure if it was him, but he was there talking to me.
You also know that he wasn't there in person.
I don't know that for sure. I didn't have any sights up.
Okay.
Okay.
Why didn't? Did you manage to beat down Null?
Oh no! Oh no! No! No!
Did he spare you?
So why aren't you dead?
It's a good question, isn't it? Oh, he wants me to. Oh, the plan was to leave me alive. He leaves me alive. The other fella, who they was looking for real, will show up and contact me. Once he contacts me, I'm supposed to tell Cypher 9 that I've contacted him. And if I don't, he'll kill me, mom, me dad, and everyone else. I know.
You need find a place for your family to stay?
No, as far as I know. Other fella could have been lying, but I'm going to trust him because why not? Because he took his wee knife and he did some sort of hooba-joob on the item that I'm carrying in my back pocket right now.
What you have a device right now that's left by the person who's claiming to save your family or to protect your family?
No, the one that said to kill my family is the one what gave me the device, and the other fellow did something to it.
Huh.
But I have to carry it because if I don't carry it, then he'll know something's up. That's what he said, right, Evan?
If they wanted to silence you,
Yes.
I suspect they would have. I suspect you wouldn't be with us now.
Oh, you figure.
So I would therefore suspect that telling you not to tell anyone was a way to ensure that you would indeed tell people, and that they want us to know.
No. At no point did he say, don't tell anyone. What he said was, if you took whatever he insinuated, don't tell anyone. Because he could track my every move with his wee tracker doohickey thing. I don't know what it is, but I have to carry it. Because if I don't carry it, then they'll know that I'm not carrying it.
Did what I just said make sense to you two? That they want us to know they've got it.
That's the feeling I'm getting.
That they expect us to mount some daring, heroic bid to recapture it, and it's clearly a trap.
Well, I think that what's happening is there's two fellas. Both of them is brainiacs. Okay. One brainiac built the other brainiac. Okay. The other brainiac is used to things working a certain way. The other brainiac is a little older and a little wiser and knows things don't always go the way they want to. So, the younger fella, who's a Cypher 9 fella, created some sort of situation where it's like, you do what I say or the world's going to end for you, yada, yada, yada. And I'm supposed to follow along his plan. I'm going to ride on the older fella. But the older fella, he knows that I'm not going to do things the straight way. I'm going to do things the crazy way. So, the crazy way may be the only way to defeat the fella who's only used to things working the one way. That's what I think.
Who is this other fella?
Well, there's a Graves. He's a doctor. And I'm mostly cyborged up one. Looks like mostly like machine. It's very scary. Got great big nuts. Very scary fella. Nice voice, though.
And he was the one who helped you manipulate that tracking device.
I don't know if help was the right word for it.
Well, I'm going to head over to Siren. If anyone wants to come, free to follow. Might be a good idea to let him know about this.
Oh, aye. Some fellow that knows how the time thing works would be a great fellow to talk to see what this chronoptic... I can't even say it.
I can barely say it either. I've written it down, though.
Coptic Nomicon?
If it was a
Phenomenon, right? Did I do it?
Can we just call it the CC machine and move on with it?
All right, I'm going to say this one last time for kids. Chronoptic Chronomicon.
CC. Aye, yeah.
Chronoptic Chronomicon.
So, and while you had it, you handled it, presumably.
For a brief moment, aye.
I'm trying to figure out, is that the best connection we've possibly got to it? It's not a great connection, but it's something to start with.
What are you banging on about in English?
Well, what I'm guessing at is if someone with the right talents wanted just to scry where it is, it would be a connection. And hands which have handled it a week ago is at least a connection. It's not a very good one, but it's something.
It is
My
something.
friend. However, it's exactly a plan that I'm an idiot. It's exactly what I'd plan for someone to do.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. Thus, building a connection to where it is, which is probably guarded in some capacity, would inevitably mean that they would have a connection back to us. And who knows what they? And who knows
they
if
have a
they-
connection right here already.
Yeah, but it's better to have a to let the mice come to the trap than go to the mice.
But, well, I was more thinking at least finding out where it is would be a start.
Well, we know where it is.
Oh, do we? Where?
I've got even money. It's on the Behemoth.
Well,
It's probably on the Behemoth,
Well,
or at least a base that the Behemoth goes to refuel and supply itself.
I was assuming it would not be on the Behemoth because what I just described would then compromise the Behemoth's location.
would it? So that's the funny thing about doors. That's is the way McGran explained that weird thing where you can see far and make things. That thing, yeah. Well, if you have a door and you close the door, and someone wants to get in the door, they've got to knock on the door. So you know someone's knocking on the door, even if they can't get in the door.
Or at least someone's scuffing around the door trying to find out what's behind it. So regardless, you can know when someone's poking around your backyard. We have to find a way to maybe, if that's a way to do it, we should probably do it with a lot of people and try and do it all sneakily.
But then there's more people that are scrapping outside the door. And I've planned for someone to be scrapping outside the door. Because they know the lad that what had touched it last is the wee jit that I left running around. However, what I don't know is the older fella, he's also got his hands in the same wee jit. And see, it's very complicated. It's very convoluted. It's a really dangerous fight, this one.
Yeah.
We'll need to not use our brains on this one. We'll just need to act. What's our first instinct? Go talk to someone who knows about time.
On the bright side, what can I say? When it comes to not using your brain, the Campbells are excellent at that. Continue.
This Lowland South says one more thing. I swear to God, no.
I think she's just trying to get under your skin.
She's already done it. I want to marry her. I mean, Siren, yeah, exactly. Right. Is anyone else hot?
No, it's actually kind of cold.
I'm gonna get a cold drink. Yes, I'll be over there.
So does Abigail come with us? Like, would Abigail be allowed at Siren's place, or?
Oh, fuck no. And she doesn't particularly want to go.
That's fine. So we go to Siren's. Since Abigail doesn't want to come. We'll say goodbye to Abigail.
Of course, Duncan, in his fumbling, bumbling way, will bumblefuck his way out of 20-minute conversation to try and give her his number. So
She will eventually take it on the grounds of one day she wants a rematch, Campbell.
Exactly. Me and you and the floor. I mean, yes.
She then does something interesting. She licks the side of your face.
There is a puddle of Scotsman on the ground. It's a Scots puddle, which means it's very angry. and very opinionated. Has a very strong opinion about whiskey.
Danielle just kind of looks at Rupert and just kind of looks down at the Scotch pile. Kind of kneels down towards says, "Hey man, you're gonna be all right."
Eventually, they don't train you for this in the island. Nope.
She'll like eventually help him up and just take him to Siren's place.
All right. Has everyone here previously been to Siren's library? As in, have the players, not necessarily the characters?
Yes, we're good.
I have.
Oh, it means I don't have to do the incredibly long ass introduction.
It's a big library of hallways and stuff, right?
Yes.
Hmm.
Siren will indeed be in his home. He will be in his office at the center of the great library, the great nexus of many different bookshelves. There's a parrot that is sitting in a small golden cage, sitting next to him. As you walk in, he will look up from what he is writing. Even though 2 years have passed, he still looks very physically frail and tired most of the time. But he will smile softly as everyone enters, and he will say, "Oh, hello. I wasn't expecting company. Please come in."
Sorry for the short notice. Didn't mean to disturb you, Master Siren.
Oh, it's quite all right. Come and sit down.
What's your master of then?
It's very nice to see you again, Mr. Gallo. Siren will say, extending a hand.
Accepts the hand. Nods. An honor as always, Master.
You will notice his grip is like if you grip his hand, he will wince in pain.
No, I think he actually has a very soft, gentle handshake. Generally,
he will turn and he'll say, "I'm well. People call me Master Siren. It's not necessary if you don't wish to. As to what I'm a master of, well, I'm the master of this library."
I like books, then.
I'm glad. I'm also rather fond of them.
Yeah. How you doing, Siren?
I am... currently contemplative. And yourself, Miss Griffin?
Suppose similarly. A little bit worried hearing about what Duncan here has been telling us. We come to you about it since you know from what I remember, you knew quite a lot about time.
We can't just launch into that. We come to this fellow's house. We go to break bread and speak and chat a bit first. You can't just launch into that. That's just not. It's rude.
Well, we don't have to. Just.
Would you desire something to eat then? In that case, Master Campbell.
If it's not too much trouble, then is it?
No, not at all.
Well, I'll definitely accept that. I'll even. Do you mind if I seat myself then?
By all means, please feel free. Would anyone else care for food?
Kind of raises his eyebrow in the direction of the person that just said they were fine.
She just kind of looks over towards Siren like, need any help doing that?
No.
Duncan is flabbergasted. She's done such a thing.
All right.
He will very simply kind of motion his hand, and you'll hear he will snap his fingers twice, and in the small coffee table that is in between two sofas that is in front of his desk, it will be richly laden with food. Very festive themed food.
Oh boy.
I wasn't expecting to have to feed the masses today, but then again, that's fine.
Oh, well, we are so glad that you've gone through the trouble then, sir. Thank you.
You're being genuine.
Yes!
Okay. I'm just checking.
It's very clear that Danielle's felt like she stepped on a nail or something, and things are kind of she definitely seems awkward now at this point.
So, what is it that I can do for you? Oh,
it's a fine spread, sir.
I'm grateful.
Did we? Just kind of breathes. She just kind of looks over towards Duncan and says, "Well, it seems like you want to do things a certain way."
Well, has everyone sampled what he set forth for us? Then have you tried it all? Then out of character, has everybody tried the food he brought out?
Danielle's just gonna quickly take a look at Siren under aura sight, because right now she doesn't. She feels like she stepped on some toes, so she wants to make sure. So I'm gonna try and activate aura sight on Siren.
Okay. Yeah.
My instrument I'm gonna be using is I'm just gonna be trying to visualize a third eye in my mind, and to breathe, and to just breathe. She's going to take an extra turn to reduce the diff by 1. I got at least 1 success.
You want to see his aura?
Yes.
He's painfully confused.
Okay, that's fair. If he has it on him, Danielle is now also quite confused. Should I say, look, thank you for the food. We just wanted to. We heard about something from Duncan here, and I guess we thought it was something that you should know.
Passing strange, I heard something about a chronopticon.
I have no idea what that is.
Well, it's a device that tracks the perfect time as the universe expands. It's perfect time, technocratic device that they use to track time perfectly since the beginning of everything.
Interesting.
Apparently
We have something similar, but we call it the Book of Days.
So it seems like both the technocrats have something like that too.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like Cypher 9, the one who brokered off with the technocracy as it is now, seems to have that device. And I suppose of such a device, what would its implications be if someone wanted to use that? How that could affect someone making plans? See probabilities and, I suppose, hurt us with it.
Siren's eyes kind of half close as he contemplates. Huh. Do any of you have a reasonable understanding of correspondence?
Nay.
She said.
Sorry, what was that?
I'm just
Well,
shaking head.
I've got a reasonable understanding.
Well, the Chronomicon, if it is similar to the Book of Days, its source, it is essentially as if a fishing line was cast into the very mouth of a river, and then that fishing line was allowed to drift downstream with an infinite cable that connects it to the rod. The rod being what senses the changes and updates the time. You understand?
Yeah.
Thus, it gives it a sympathetic connection to every day there's been.
Oh, Nelly.
So if somebody wanted to go some wind, having the Chronomicon would give them exact place and time that they needed to be.
Correct.
I assume that'd be quite vulgar, though.
Depends where and how you do it. Also, you have to bear in mind that if you have a sufficiently powerful master of crime, Paradox loses a lot of its bite.
That's true. Someone like Cypher and I might have someone on his team like that.
Well, there's one theory. But, sorry, I'm asking you a question. It's a strange question, so...
Okay.
Is there any extra time?
Define extra time.
Well, if something had to be done at a certain time, okay. and you had a little time that was left over that was extra. Could you use the extra time to kind of fake what you needed?
Siren once again contemplates. Time is not linear if you have the ability. Essentially, think of time like a river. It's always the best analogy. Let us say you are swimming in the river, and the river's current will carry you downstream. If you have the ability to swim to the bank and get out and walk along the riverbank backwards, time is no longer linear. But there can never really be more time than there is. So I don't understand the concept of extra time.
What I mean is, if something strange enough happened in a place where time went all bent some kind of way, and things kind of rearrange themselves, just kind of rearrange themselves. And then someone what had the ability to look could see that there was things that weren't put back quite right. Could you use some kind of magic doohickey to organize it the way you wanted then?
In theory, if there was extra time, as the way you describe it, if you could contain it and add it to the river, you would have a split second in all time. Because it is new time, you could choose where to place it.
Adding to the body of the river.
Yes, essentially lengthening the river by a minuscule amount.
But you'd be able to send something like that in time, wouldn't you?
Only when it was added. If it was kept, if somebody was able to contain that moment to the point it never entered the river, then no.
You never really would notice unless you were looking for it, is basically what you're saying.
Even then, it's unlikely you could find it if it was hidden well enough.
Unless you had the Chronopticon.
And what could someone do with those extra pieces of time?
In theory, they could insert an extra moment into time wherever they chose, and in that moment, they could take an action.
But you'd need a perfect tracker like that Chronopticon to do such a thing, wouldn't you?
You'd need the if you had the perfect. If you had the Chronomicon or something similar to the Book of Days, you could pick the exact microsecond where you could insert your action for the most effect, or indeed where the effect would be possible in that brief period of time. It's the only thing that would be exact enough to pinpoint it exactly.
So you'd be able to affect the events in all time.
For a split second, you would add to time, yes. Because then that moment would become part of the river. The river would then adapt to have its new element. And from that moment on, the river would change.
So if somebody was doing something like that, we could look in the Book of Days while he had his Chronopticon, and we could see what he was up to then, yeah?
In theory, yes. That would, however, require you getting access to the Book of Days.
Now, who's got it?
That's somewhat complicated.
Could you... It would be possible also to make your own Book of Days, yes?
It would be a mammoth undertaking that would require many different powerful magi. When this was created, it was created in the Mythic Age.
Right. And these days that would be a significantly rough undertaking.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if they've already got one, no one needed it. We just ask for it.
The Book of Days is held in a very specific shrine in Athens, Greece, and is guarded by an extremist group of Euthanatos known as the Knights of Rhadamanthus. It is a temple to the Greek god Cronus, or the Titan Cronus.
You mean like Zephyr then?
I don't know what a Zephyr is.
Well, she's one of them things, isn't she? Yeah, she is.
Is she?
That's what she said.
But they don't let anyone in just to read the Book of Days, because unlike the Chronomicon, the Book of Days also records all actions taken on those days in those times. Essentially, each one of you has a section in the Book of Days, if you know where to look, and it records every moment of your life.
Like a life log.
Correct. That's why they keep it
Under wraps.
so close, yes.
I was just trying to kind of process all this. Oh my god. Do you think this is something worth pursuing?
Once again, you would have to go to Greece and attempt to actually be allowed into the Shrine of Days, and that is in and of itself an undertaking.
Guess so. It's an option.
If we were to assume that Cypher 9, who now has this chronological device, and is intending to, as said, insert a moment of extra time somewhere, can we speculate where and when he's going to insert that? What is he looking to change about time?
Well, let me phrase it like this, Mr. Gallo. If you wish to, say, take a moment in time, you could do practically anything that would require only a moment. For example, push John F. Kennedy out of the way of the bullet, or
Have a certain politician who's a key vote trip.
yes,
Take a bad call.
Would it be enough to use the convergence?
the Morpheus project. You mean?
Yes.
I don't know. Possible.
Well, that was the plan, wasn't it? Do it all in a moment?
It would mean that all of the various different keystones that were involved in the project for each one of the different realms would have to be activated at once. The power would have to be built up, but in theory, if he used that moment to simply release the energy, it's possible.
Add little bits of time into each of those spaces.
Because each one of those spaces is themselves, even though the Umbra, the Shadowlands, and the other various different planes of reality dilute and stretch time, time still exists there. They are still all governed by the concept of time.
Right, but what I'm saying is, remember what we were talking about, that he might use extra time. Theoretically.
But he would only have to use it once. He wouldn't have to use it each individually for each realm.
You'd only have to do it once. Especially if they're tied sympathetically in some way.
Is there anything else that we might speculate that Cypher 9, based on who and what he is, would try to change?
Bear in mind, from what I'm led to understand, Cypher 9 tends to plan things. It's likely that whatever he would do would have the most drastic and intricate effect, even if it might not be immediately obvious. For example, the example Miss Daniela gave of a politician simply tripping before he could attend an important vote, that seems to me something like something Cypher 9 would do, because he would understand that if that politician did not lobby his vote, then certain changes would happen in the causality of the events of the world. There is one person who might be able to answer that question.
Oh,
From what I was led to understand in the meetings I have had with certain key figures, there is Cypher 5.
Cypher 5. That was one of the other ciphers I remember Abigail talking about.
Well, Cypher 9 was the only success in inverted commas of the project. Cypher 5 survived the project, but his abilities were severely hampered via certain physical and mental abnormalities, and they were the only two to survive. But it is possible that he might be able to see with enough clarity to answer what his brother, in this case, might do.
And what are they specifically? You meant that everyone keeps mentioning that they're part of some kind of project. Part of the Morpheus project?
They were artificially created avatars.
Capital A avatars?
Capital A avatars. Genetically bred from birth in order to withstand the physical and metaphysical warping properties of the technocracy created essence patterns that were implanted into them in order so that they could access the awakened world artificially. I'm led to understand the project was a complete failure, Cypher 9 being the only one who survived.
Cypher 5 is the one who's damaged. Who I'd still be talking to.
Yes.
Cypher, Siren, I've heard about from this IDX operative on the fountain not too far from here that there was a peace between the technocracy and reality deviants, at least from their terms.
In a manner of speaking, it's called the Treaty of Seattle. Basically, the Technocratic Union never informed the mainstay of its organization as to the Project Morpheus, and when it was made public knowledge via entities like Eliza Hoth and others, it became clear that certain junior members of the Technocratic Union had no interest in the, frankly, insane perspective of the upper management, shall we say. So they made it abundantly clear that they would no longer collude with them, and the Technocratic Union teeters on the brink of civil war until it was agreed that they would have a temporary ceasefire with us so that they would sort out their internal issues before it is the war recommenced. We are currently living in such times under the Treaty of Seattle. That then caused a large amount of the Technocratic Union's more extremist elements in the form of entities known as the True Way to break away from the Union as a general whole and form their own splinter group under Cypher 9.
Right. So where would Cypher 5 be?
I don't know. I merely know that he's alive.
You go back to Abigail. How has talking to the technocracy been?
I don't know. I haven't really been doing it. From what my father has mentioned to me intermittently, it has been exactly as you think it would be.
Sounds messy.
The technocrats are very into their, shall we say, procedure, so it's been very slow.
Thank you for the food, by the way, Siren.
He shrugs. I was confused as to why he asked for it.
I was confused too.
Good to know.
Hopefully we didn't step on any toes.
No, not at all.
Maybe it's a part of his culture, it sounded like. Shrugs.
One can only assume.
Well, unless there's anything else we can tell you, I think that's about it on our end. That's the implications of this seem pretty staggering.
Once again, we don't exactly know what it is that he would do, or if he has the ability to do what I've theorized.
Right.
So we'll have to see.
On another note, thank you for your hospitality at Halloween.
You're more than welcome.
For my part, I had a enlightening, meaningful conversation with someone who I did not expect to meet.
Who might that have been?
Ironically enough, another master of time. It's a shame he's not with us now. My grandparents.
Your grandfather or your grandparents was an interesting man. I do not support what it is he did, but I do not necessarily believe that he was a bad person. I think that many people lose their way in grief.
That's certainly true.
Mm.
And I was wondering if you had any advice for me with regards to Hope. She's a very unique individual, and I've not had the privilege of being a father before. And I was rather thinking you've had, you can perhaps relate to her celestial connections a little better than I.
Mm. Mm. You see, Siren kind of leans back in his chair and he says, My mother has always said the fact is that man is what man is its greatest gift. That we are invested with the infinite possibilities more so than any other being in creation. But we have the ultimate choice. And that was the will of any entity, if you wish to call him God, Yahweh, Zeus, Odin, the supreme being. He intended us to be made in this way. Ultimately, Hope is interesting. The Celestial Chorus have presented me with their report on the topic, and it seems very much as though while the body is miraculous, the soul is, in fact, human. Thus it is bound by the human needs for love, attention, adoration, the human weaknesses such as pride, anger, wrath, lust, etc. I do not know, frankly, how it is one can be pulled between these two things. How it is that one can essentially be of these two natures. The body pulls one way, the soul another. And I sense that before long that will be the conflict that Hope will need to reconcile herself with.
Sounds like it's going to be rough.
I don't know. he raises a finger and he opens his desk. He pulls out a small glass bottle. You see him then slit his finger with a knife just a little bit, so just a couple of droplets fall into the bottle. Droplets of blood. And he holds it up and he says, "My blood comes from two worlds. My mother is what she is, and my father is whom he is. But then again, I'm a blending of the two on every level. Hope is a contrast, one against the other. Do you understand, Mr. Geller?"
I think I do.
Please feel free to give me your thoughts and opinions on my statement.
As you say, you also stand between two worlds, but you grew up that way, and she, perhaps she has yet to grow up, and find her way. Some would say that all people have this. We all have the a soul that aspires to touch the divine, however we define it, and we all have a base human body with its own drives and lusts and needs and wants to drag us down to below. And yes, I suppose she. I'm reminded of the debates that must have taken place at the Council of Nicaea, where they've had to figure out just what the nature of our Lord Jesus Christ was. There were some who argued that he was God incarnated in the human body, which, paradoxically, almost the reverse of what hope is. Those arguments were rejected because it was pointed out that to merely have a human body does not make one human.
Yes, but also bear in mind that these debates on the nature of the transubstantiation of faith toward the Church apart.
Fair point.
Oh, yes. Well. I don't know. Perhaps I've gone off a strange tangent.
No, I understand what you meant to say.
The Nicene Creed recognized that Christ was both wholly human in that he had both a human body and all the components of a human soul, which that's in itself can be multifaceted, and in addition was wholly God as well. The analogy was that if one takes a cup of water and a cup of wine and pours them both in together, the result is both holy water and a whole glass of water and a whole glass of wine, not simply half of each. Now, in the case of Hope, she has a celestial body and she has a soul. Let's just assume it is all the facets of a human soul together. But she doesn't have a human body, does she?
No.
So her human nature is the bit which is incomplete.
That would depend on if you consider the nature of being to be seated in the soul of the body.
No.
For example, I don't know the answer to this. Does Hope sleep?
I,
That's a good question.
I believe she's capable of sleep, but I'm not sure she has the need to sleep.
Does she eat?
So yes. At first, she had to be reminded to breathe because she didn't have the need. She doesn't have the same human drives.
She seems like she's something unique.
He raises his finger and he says, does she understand the concept of love?
I hope so. But then I'm
One moment, if you please. The siren looks down at a small pocket watch, and you see him count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hi, Saskia. How's it going?
Hi.
How are you doing? You're doing good.
Well, I had fun, yes. So Darcy's just falling in?
Yes, literally.
Okay. So, yeah.
What were you doing before Siren decided that you were now his 4 o'clock?
Why don't we make this super awkward and just say that she was taking a beauty nap, and she just kind of rolled out of bed and literally in sort of a onesie pajama kind of thing just falls onto the floor there.
You don't fall onto the floor. What happens is you feel as though you jump out of bed or you roll out of bed, and as you stand up, you feel as if the ground goes from underneath you. And it's almost like for about 10 to 20 seconds, you're on an awesome water slide before you will be plopped unceremoniously into an armchair. You have never been in this particular space before. You are surrounded by bookshelves that must be 30 feet high all around you, in the center of which there seats a desk that Siren is sitting at in a high back leather chair. There is a table, a coffee table that has been laden down with Christmas food that actually smells delicious. On either side of which there are couches. There is a large parrot in a golden cage that's seated next to Siren. But literally, as he counts down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, when he does that, Darcy will plop right into the chair unceremoniously.
Whoa!
Whoa! Didn't expect that.
Why?
Hello.
What? Did I miss? No.
You and I had an appointment, Miss Ellsworth.
Today?
Today.
What time is it?
4 in the afternoon.
Fuck. Okay. I must have messed up my schedules. There was a party last night, and, well, Hi. Do you have coffee?
He points to the table.
Cool.
As you drink the coffee, it has cinnamon in it and tastes Christmassy.
As long as it holds something caffeine-like.
Soladrin will lean back, Soladrin, wow, I'm playing my vampire now, apparently. My brain is really dead. Siren leans back in his chair, kind of panting his fingers together. And he'll say, Mr. Gallo, Miss... sorry, Griffith. Allow me to introduce Miss Ellsworth, my somewhat apprentice.
Oh. Nice to meet you.
Nods.
Hi. I'm Darcy.
Name's Daniela.
Nice to meet you.
You know in the amongst all this?
Sorry?
You basically what I'm trying to ask is how long have you been well open to all this?
Oh, I've been here a few weeks. Yeah, a few weeks definitely.
Well, welcome aboard the crazy train.
Yeah.
Look over this. So, I believe I was saying she was something unique in regards to hope.
Yes. Well, as for does she understand certain concepts, I think that I can only hope that will grow in time with the right parenting.
Mm.
And yeah, yes, maybe there will come a time when she has to choose between her two natures, and maybe she will be able to reconcile the two. I'm sure she'd hardly be the first person among our society to be torn between two different natures.
If it helps, I believe that is the current conundrum that Miss Ellsworth is struggling with.
No,
A conundrum?
Yes. Would you like me to explain the word conundrum to you?
I know what it means. I just don't really get the thing. What's with the two worlds?
That you are now something you were not before. That you have a foot in the mortal world and a foot here.
I mean, this isn't really a different world, is it? Like, we're
Oh no,
still in
this place quite literally is. You're no longer on Earth.
what? Oh boy,
Mhm.
I should have started with that.
that would have been nice to know. Yeah.
You're currently in the Grand Library of Dublin, which is what we call a Horizon Realm, or an entirely self-contained, smaller world outside of the world.
Or like on the skin
Great.
of a cell. That was the analogy that Bellic used.
Yes.
Okay. Does this realm have a wardrobe?
Oh, would you like something more comfortable to wear?
Other than my pajamas? Perhaps. I don't know. Like, no, they're cute and everything, but yeah.
Siren blinks twice. I take it Darcy doesn't have a mind shield.
No, of course not.
Excellent. He half closes his eyes, at which point he will snap his fingers twice. And Darcy, you will no longer be wearing what you were wearing. You'll be wearing the outfit you would most like to be wearing.
Okay.
Whatever that is.
Going through my pictures right now. Let me see.
You're also not naked at any point. It basically transmogrifies your outfit from one outfit to another.
Okay, that's cool. That helps a lot. Let me see. I have too many pictures.
There can never be too many pictures. That's a lie.
Let's go with this for now.
Really can't be more detail.
Oh, wow, that helps. Insta dressing. You got to teach me that.
I'm happy to do so if you wish to learn.
That will be very good.
As you wish.
Save so much time. But then again, I guess if I would be better at time, I wouldn't need to spend time dressing, or I don't know, stop trying time and then get dressed and then move time on. Right?
There's a lot of time.
Yeah.
Because what I have to say about that is there's a lot of time in the universe. You got all the time you need. Right?
Well,
It's almost infinite.
He's not wrong.
Not when you're working in showbiz.
I suppose in that context, time is money. What is it you do, Miss Elspeth? I've never asked.
I mean, I do a lot of things really. It just kind of depends on what people want from me. Like, I sometimes do commercials, I do photo shoots, I have a YouTube channel that's pretty popular. Sometimes I help my dad out, but that's more on like social events and everything.
So what you're saying is your marketable skill is in fact being you.
Exactly.
Ah.
I'm very good at being me.
Well, I suppose who else would one rather be than themselves?
Ah. I mean, I can imagine quite a few people would really like to be me.
Siren kind of half smiles. It is interesting, both of my apprentices ended up being social media figures.
Why?
The other one, Miss Ortega, is a DJ.
All right, I've heard of her. I've never met her yet. I'm really sad. I should.
I'm sure that you will in time. An interesting idea has just revealed itself, Mr. Gallion.
Yes?
Miss Elspeth here is an expert at what it is to be human. Why not let Hope spend time with her?
Oh. Suppose that would make sense.
So, Miss Ellsworth, do tell me a little more about yourself. What?
I mean, what do you want to know that you can't find online?
Well, I suppose I wasn't going to look you up online.
Okay. I'm Darcy. I am. Let me look up my date of birth because I don't know that out.
I'm not going to ask a lady her age. That's quite all right.
Oh, that's fine. I'm still young enough to not be embarrassed by my age. Well, my father is head of the Ellsworth branch. We have hotels basically all over the world, specifically Europe and United States. My mom has a casting agency in Beverly Hills, California. They're divorced, of course, but that's not really a problem. My dad has a second wife, has 3 kids. My mom is not married ever since. She's had many boyfriends, though.
What struck me is I've asked you about yourself, and you've talked almost exclusively about your parents.
I mean, aren't you sort of a sum of your parents? Don't they say that? Isn't that the best way to start talking about yourself, by talking about your parents?
Well, you seem to find it's the best way, but
Yeah.
I find it interesting.
Okay.
That's how you choose to define yourself, by your
Well, not yet.
by the people who raised you, who in your case are also your blood family.
I mean, I'm just sort of summing up what the Wikipedia says.
Danielle's just kind of looking between the three, just kind of looking like not sure she wants to interject on this. She'll just kind of say, well, to be fair, she wasn't completely done.
So do go
on. I have grown up mostly in California. I have moved to London to finish high school. I decided not to continue studying because, my career kind of took a, jump up, and I have well, my Instagram went sort of viral, my YouTube went very well, so I decided to focus on that, focus on the social life. I've tried my hand at singing, dancing, and I'm still kind of considering whether I want to go into that as well. But for now, like my modeling and my other things just keep me pretty well. I got to travel a lot. I was actually planning on not necessarily staying in Dublin, but with recent events happening, I'm considering at least for a couple of years probably, until I get this thing going. I am very much into fashion. I love makeup. I enjoy partying. At the moment, I'm staying at my dad's hotel. It's quite a nice room. Do have a very cute doggo named London, actually. Um, and yeah.
Thank you. Yes, I think it would be good for Hope to get to meet more people generally, and yes, meeting someone who's still mostly in the everyday mundane world would certainly not be a bad thing.
I mean, I wouldn't call my world really mundane or average. I'm definitely beyond that.
Oh, I'm sure from what you said, it's yes, it's certainly well above many people on the streets outside, but it's still mundane in the sense of mundane.
No, I don't get it.
The world of sleepers, I think, is what he's trying to. The better way to think about it.
Mm.
You're not in the world of the supernatural, or of the strange, of the mysteries. You're of where you're in the public eye.
Yeah.
Where you're around sleep. You're around. Well, I don't necessarily like the term. You're among unawakened minds.
Yeah, among
Yearning
people
for
that don't
knowledge.
know how to do magic. Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what he means. Someone who's very tied to just your average folk. Might be good for
I
Hope.
mean, I don't know this Hope person, but hey, I'm always willing to meet more people, and I mean, if I can show someone around and have a good time, that's fine with me.
She's a very unique, I suppose, one way to colloquialize it be entity.
Aren't we all?
That was the point I was going to make. Maybe she's just unique. She looks at Rupert when she says that.
Wow.
Maybe that's what part of our consciousness that gives us all this, and she just kind of wiggles her fingers stuff. Maybe it's a little piece of uniqueness in us. Maybe she's got that too.
I suspect most parents would say the same things I could say about Hope about their own children.
Thank you for calling me unique, Miss Griffith.
Hey, you must be Hope.
Mm-hmm. For the record, she literally just steps around from behind the bookcase. I can hear it when people are talking about me.
That's so.
Hmm.
I don't know that.
She walks into the room. Her eyes blink twice, like blink, 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 blink. She looks Darcy. She looks Darcy up and down. I like your hair.
Thanks. Yours is nice too. Maybe we should work a bit on extensions, and you could definitely use a nice cut because I see a lot of dead ends there. But yeah, color is good. Hi, I'm Darcy.
Do you extend your hand?
Yep.
She looks down at the hand before she will shake it. You get the distinct impression it's almost like very robotic in the sense of almost like, raise hand, connect with other, grasp, shake, shake. Like she's actively trying to remember how to do this before she will release your hand and let it go down.
You
It is
should do
nice to
something
meet you.
about your wardrobe.
Oh. Why?
Because as far as I've understood, you're going to come hang out with me, and you're not going to do that in that outfit.
If you want to.
Blink. Siren looks at Hope and he says something in a language that I'm not. I think. Who here speaks Enochian?
I do.
Cool. Then you will be able to understand him. Does anybody else here speak the language?
Not me.
It almost sounds. It's kind of weird. It almost sounds like the bones of the world grinding together when he speaks it. Basically, what he says from Gallo's perspective is, oftentimes it is best to see yourself in a mirror of what the world is. She contemplates that for a moment before she nods. I would very much like to spend an afternoon with you, Miss Darcy, or Miss Ellsworth. Nod.
Just call me Darcy, please. Like, especially if we go out in public.
Okay. Darcy, I would very much like to spend time with you, Darcy.
Cool. So why don't you let your assistant make an appointment with my assistant? We can get together. We can plan a date.
Blink, blink.
Yes, Darcy. We'll be. I'll be in touch, and we'll plan a date out.
Cool. Here's the card of my personal assistant. She controls my agenda. It's like, you know.
Thank you. That would be delightful.
Cool. Is there anything specific you would like to do?
She seems unsure. I'm happy to follow where it is that you lead.
Okay. Are these your only clothes?
No.
Okay, so we might just want to do like a makeover. That's always good, and it's much fun.
Important question. Did Gallo give her the card that was given that's in her name or no?
I don't think he did because of where it came from. Obviously, he's arranged for some funds for appropriate clothes and things. In fact,
I was going to say, D'Onofrio has just said whatever is required via Hope, just charge to the Chantry. She doesn't really particularly care about the expense.
Yes, I'm using the Chantry funds, not the Infernal funds. But Darcy, perhaps you could take Hope clothes shopping. I'm sure you've got an eye for fashion.
Of course I do, but that goes with the makeover.
Oh, splendid.
I mean, hair, nails, petty mani, makeup, clothes. Entire package.
Why is it that people care so much about how it is they look?
We're getting into aesthetics.
Well, if only because other people care.
Oh.
It's
She looks
your
down
image.
She looks down at her hand and she looks at Darcy's. Is Darcy wearing nail varnish?
Yeah, definitely.
What kind?
Probably pink.
Okay.
Like, French manicure with like pink and the little diamonds on like one on each nail.
Okay. She looks down and you see her raise her own hand up. She flicks her hand, flicks both of her hands, and her nails are now mirror images of yours.
Huh. Okay, that's a neat trick. The thing is, though, we need to look into your own identity. Like, you can just copy my nails, that's fine, and I understand because a lot of people are doing it. But if we're going to go for a makeover, we're going to make over you, and we're not going to turn you into me, even though that I can understand would be preferable in many ways.
Danielle just chuckles and seems amused and shakes her head.
Is this hubris?
Are you
I
calling
think
me
it's-
shallow?
She looks to Hope and says, I don't think she meant what she said. Seriously.
Oh. Okay. I wasn't calling. Wait, how are you in any way less deep?
Oh, she is? Well, Danielle's assuming.
Darcy is by far the most shallow character I've ever made.
How are you in fact less deep? She doesn't understand shallow as a cultural term.
I mean, a lot of people say that I'm like shallow because I like fashion and nails and hair because I think that's important. People often look down on that, on people who think that that's important. But, you know, it is important. When you're presenting something or you're representing something, even if it's yourself, you're supposed to look the part. And I'm not just fashion and everything else. How could, like, there are a lot of people who think that they're old fashioned. They don't have like hundreds of thousands followers on YouTube. I do. So there's definitely also the marketing aspect. If you want to sell yourself, you better do it right. If you want to sell a company, you do it right.
So, do you ascribe your worth based upon the worth that others give you?
Danielle just kind of itches the side of her head.
Once again, it's weird. You can sense, and you don't even need to perk empathy this. There is an innocence to the statements that they're not meant in a offensive or confrontational manner. It's more so an actual ignorance that is kind of radiated from the I am trying to learn.
Right.
That's an interesting question. No, because I don't let other people determine my worth. I dictate them my worth. But you will find, especially in like, I don't know what it's like in this like mage world, and she raises two fingers like quote on a quote gesture. But like with regular humans, everybody will always have an opinion about you. It doesn't matter how well you dress or how eloquent you are, they will always and all the time have an opinion about you everywhere. Doesn't matter whether you do everything right, whether you do everything wrong. There will always be people who will be thinking that you're the greatest person on earth, and there will always be people who are thinking you're the shittiest person on earth. So the point is exactly that you do not let other people determine your worth, but that you dictate your worth to yourself and to others. Because ultimately, everybody is a person that is worth something, especially to themselves and to their friends.
She walks up to you and she puts her hand on your chest, like above, around the midpoint of your chest, and she closes her eyes for a moment, unless Darcy attempts to stop her.
No, she'll look a bit weirded out, but you know, Darcy is kind of used to people touching her, and I know this is sounding incredibly wrong, but you know.
You feel a very warm sensation, Flutter. It's actually quite pleasant. Before Hope opens her eyes again, and she says, "You have a good heart." And she puts her hand back down.
Yeah, I guess I try to be, you know.
There's a nod, I would be delighted to spend time with you, Darcy.
Cool.
Siren will turn to Gallo and he will say, oftentimes I find that when one needs to learn something, particularly when one needs to learn a skill or a trapping, it is best to go to those who are the masters of the skills of the trappings.
Yes, there are a great many things that I don't feel qualified to teach.
I'll tell you what, guys, the scene has dragged on for about nearly 2 hours at this point, so I'm going to end the scene here. So
That sounds good.
this means that we will get to another evening run a Darcy and Hope hit the town scene, which should go sideways so quickly.
That sounds amazing.
So thank you players for playing, thank you watchers for watching. This has been another day in Darkness in Dublin. Have a pleasant evening.